The other day when I was beginning to prepare this homily, I was looking at the passage where it said that the woman with the hemorrhage had gone to doctor after doctor after doctor for many years and had only grown worse and spent all of her money. But given the nature of our community, I decided not to go there. But that's not the point of the scripture. You know, it's interesting that Mark pairs two healing miracles together at a time when he's concerned about the fact that his disciples aren't getting it. Everybody around is getting it, but his disciples, the apostles, aren't getting it. They're not understanding. We see it again in the scripture passage today. What Jesus does, he does publicly, he does in a community. He doesn't say to the woman, tell you what, see me after work today, come on over about 4:30, you and I will chit-chat, we'll get all this taken care of. No, it's very public. Because Jesus understands that faith is both a private action and a public reality. That's one of the things that distinguishes us as a Catholic community. Not just a Christian community, but a Catholic community. That we live and function within the context of a community, and a community of faith. It matters to us that the people around us come to faith. It matters to us that the people around us are healed and have hope. Just as with the daughter of Jairus, everyone else around had given up hope, but Jesus says to the community, in an older translation it says, fear is useless. What is needed is trust. Fear is useless. What is needed is trust. How often do you and I lose sleep over things over which we have no control? How often do we worry for other people? Do we worry even about ourselves? And despite all the worrying, we can change almost nothing. Fear is useless. What is needed is trust. I began a couple of weeks ago reporting back to the parish on the views from the pews. And this is another Sunday where it is perfectly legitimate to read the bulletin during the homily. Okay? And each of you, when you came in, should have picked up a copy of the parish bulletin, and inside there was a separate page, which is the summary sheet from the views from the pews. We have extras. So if you've read the bulletin and you want to leave it for the next Mass, that's great. Thank you very much. Feel free to take this one home. We have more. Okay? If we run out, there's a copy machine in the office. We can take care of that. But this is an opportunity for you to take a look at some of the things that we as a community have been fearful about. Some of the things that we as a community have been concerned about, whether it be finances, whether it be education, whether it be how we're growing as a spiritual community. All of these things. And now we begin to respond. Next week will be the last of the 4 Sundays where we're going to report about this, and it will be to address the question of finances. We will report back to you on the questions that were asked to us. But this is, I think, a great Sunday, given the readings that we have. Our first reading from the Book of Wisdom, which talks about the wisdom that death is a reality, life is short, death is a reality, but all of it is in the hands of God. In our gospel passage, we are reminded that even in moments of what appear to be terrifying things, the impending death of a daughter, of a child, suffering for years from physical pain, and apparently no cure, in both of these situations, hope is injected. Hope is presented, and it's presented in the context of community. Even when Jesus goes into the daughter's room and says to her, Talitha cum, he's there with father, mother, and the disciples. Father and mother, because they belong there. The disciples, so that they can grow in faith. This is a part of their ongoing education. That you and I can grow as a community of faith that offers hope to every single person who comes here. Because as we sang at the beginning of Mass, all are welcome at this table. All are welcome here. that every person who comes here, every person who comes in contact with our community, that each and every one of us, from within the context of our community, can live lives that are based not on fear, but on hope, because we know that our God is with us and that our community supports us.